Taurus, hello there, my beautiful friends. We're going to do your general tarot reading for late October 2025. Thank you so much for joining me today. You know, I appreciate each and every single one of you. So let's get right down to business as always and start you off with an oracle card here, just so we could dip our paws into the energy and see what's happening for the lovely Taurus collective. Hope you're all doing fabulous and fantastic, my friends. Let's get it going here. My guide spirit team, talk to me. What do we got for the beautiful Taurus collective in late October? And as you can see, I'm fully in the season spirit, my good friends. Let me know what you're wearing this Halloween. But yeah, you get to have your tarot cards read by a man lion. So how about that? But yeah, we're just going to take a real quick look at this first card. Then we'll get into the full reading itself. And at the very end, I'll pull you a bonus card from the Shadowland Tarot, just to see what might be in the shadows or what shadow work you can lean into, which is always interesting. But let's get it going here. Let's rock and see what we got for Taurus. Late October, what's the vibe? What's the energy for my good friends? Quick, super quick. All right, a little sleepy. Might need a little nap. For some of you, obviously, that's not every single person. This is also a very meditative type of energy. It always reminds me of the Four of Swords, so I don't dislike it. It does feel very calm and chill. That could really be a positive to it. But there's something here about the inner world. Now, before we fully dive into that, if you're new here, I'll be speaking about the October subscriber surprise towards the end, so you might want to check that out. And also, if you could kindly illuminate that like button by tapping it right on its third eye, you know I'd greatly appreciate it. But enough of the promo, back into the reading. Let's talk more in depth about this card. So as you can see, we have this lady. It looks like she's kind of sleeping or taking a nap. I mean, not in the most comfortable position. It seems as if she's in a yogic pose, right? So for some of you, maybe there's a special interest in meditation, deep states of consciousness, yoga, all that good stuff. There's nothing wrong with that. But this could literally tie into rest and sleep. That's why I was saying, all right, someone might need a nap. So if things have been a little wild, you've been burning that candle at both ends, maybe Spirit wants you to reserve your energy. I mean, if you've been feeling a little down or feeling a little low energy, this could represent at the same time. Remember, this isn't a card that's out there going wild. This could also represent just taking a little bit of a break. But I would say for sure, watch your dreams in this time when this card shows up, because it's one of my big cards in the Oracle deck of Spirit trying to send you signs or synchronicities through the dream state. So maybe jot those down, especially if you have a vivid one. But we're going to let her chill out. She could keep doing her yoga or whatever. Let's get into tarot. And yeah, I always say that first card, it doesn't make or break the reading. It's just a little footnote. So let's get you 3 tarot cards in the upright. Then we'll get into that intuitive juiciness. Let's shuffle it up one time here for Taurus. What do we got? And while we get this deck shuffled up and ready to go, let's talk about last week's reading. It was titled A Big Rejection. Now, that didn't necessarily come through as Spirit saying, like, hey, Taurus, you're about to get rejected. To me, it felt like someone just building a wall, putting a wall up. It could be various things, whether it was rejecting a habit, rejecting a thought process, rejecting a behavior, rejecting a person. It could have been anything, but to me, it just felt very protective in someone putting that wall up. So it didn't feel like the easiest. It did feel a little stubborn. So we're going to see what energy shows up this week. As you know, energy is very fluid, never set in stone. So only take this how it hits for you, because we could be seeing your vibe or somebody else, right? Let's get it going. 3 cards here for my Taurus friends. What do we have in late October? Here we go. Thank you. Okay, cool. So we're starting with Mr. Magician, and he did come out with another card. So I like the Magician. Again, very spiritual. So it kind of ties into that similar energy we were getting with that Oracle card, where there's something about the inner world. There's something about the spiritual world. And we'll talk more on that. Then you got our good pal here, the Page of Cups. I like him. Very communicative. I'm just going to let him chill right there. Let's get one more out, and we'll start piecing it all together. I usually get happy when I see the Page of Cups. Oh, okay. We got the Tower. Don't fret. I mean, especially with the zodiacal season we're in right now, I don't think this is anything to really worry about. But it's just very powerful, very intense. Both of these energies do share some similarities, believe it or not. Now, let's go through. I'll give you some of the classical meanings and archetypes, then we'll get into that juicy, intuitive stuff. But at first glance, I always like to look at the elements first, and there's a lot of water here, which is actually good for you. Tauruses and other earth signs do really well when there's a lot of water energy in the mix. With the page and the tower, even though the tower looks like fire and brimstone, it's actually Scorpio, which is your zodiacal opposite on the zodiac wheel. So there's a lot of water here. That's the inner world. Once again, it's the realm of feelings and emotion and creativity, emotional expressiveness, speaking your piece. It could also represent one-on-one connections and love and partnerships. So there's a lot of things that water can represent. But the big thing about it, it's always flowing, right? It's never stagnant. Well, it can be sometimes, but usually water is always flowing and moving regarding emotions. Then we have the magician right there, the master of all elements, huge karmic ties, universal ties. And we see that with both of these cards. So let's go through and start building this out piece by piece. Position number one, our good friend, the magician. And you see him there. He's standing in front of his little altar. He has every single suit out there. So he has cups, he has wands, he has swords, and he has the pentacles. And he is the master of all. And as you can see above his head, he has that little infinity sign, which denotes the spiritual and karmic aspects to the energy. And he has a little wand that he has raised up to the sky. So he's channeling energy, he's bringing it down and making it material. This is a huge card of manifestation and creation. So just know your powers to manifest and create are through the roof when this guy shows up. That's a beautiful thing. You might have extra interest in ritual or certain things with your day to day life. Remember, the magician puts structure to things. He brings things from the immaterial into the material plane. So that's something we want to take a close look at. My lion's head almost came off there. My apologies. Um, the only downside I see with the magician is that he could sometimes represent control. I mean, controlling one's path, nothing wrong with that. But sometimes this energy, in its rough sense, can be overly controlling, or it could represent situations that we can't really control. So we do want to look at this further. Now, moving to the middle, as we get this magician, and I know I already mentioned his karmic aspect, so we see that in two main places. In the center, we have the Page of Cups, lovely. This is a much softer, calmer type of energy. It's super subtle. Pages are fresh, they're new, they represent youth. So Capricorn, not Capricorn, it represents Cancer, Pisces, Scorpio with the zodiacal aspect. So you might have some of those in your life. But even if that's not the case, when I see the Page of Cups, they're big communicators, especially this one. Whether it's something that I just need to say or there's something I just want to get off my chest. It could be a conversation, talk, or message of importance when this card is here. So we will look at it. Now, what's the downside of the Page of Cups? It could be very shy sometimes. It could be very bashful. So whether it's someone that's a little shy to say something to you or approach you, or maybe you're a little shy to say something to someone else, that could be part of it with this page. It's very shy and bashful. I don't want to say it's not confident, but it can also suppress. That's the one thing I always watch out for with this Page of Cups. Now, as we get him tucked back in by this magician, we're going to talk about the elephant in the room, the tower. Okay, so even if you're not an expert in tarot, I'm sure you've seen this card. A lot of people get freaked out by it. I always say don't get freaked out by any card. It's just energy. So again, Scorpio. We're currently in Scorpio season. So maybe it's going to tell us something that's coming towards you in Scorpio season. Maybe you're connected to one. Even if that's not the case, the tower just represents shock. Sometimes it could be an ending, sure. Sometimes it could represent hitting the reset button on something. Let's try this again with a clean slate. But I always say not every shock has to be bad. Not every tower has to be bad. Sometimes good things come in and we don't quite see it coming. Or maybe it's just describing whatever this page energy is. There's a lot of ways that this tower can still go. But in its roughest sense, yeah, it's like a very uncomfortable energy. I mean, again, it's things that could be out of our hands. That's why I always say it's karmically tied as well. So we have a lot of power in your energy this week. We have power, karmic. Um, I want to dive deeper on all of it, Taurus. Let's do it. Let's jump in and clarify. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here for my Taurus friends. And yes, this is where I go intuitive with the message, which means I just tell you how it feels to me. So feel free to do further research or rely on your base knowledge of tarot, because as you know, every single reading is about the reader's interpretation, and I'm just giving you mine. Let's go in on the magician first. Let's see what he has. Oh, and yeah, if you're a reader yourself, please feel free to play along. That's why the box is here. If you're feeling any messages that you want to give to Taurus, you can drop it in the comments. I don't mind at all. Okay, let's get that magician Why is it here for my friends? Thank you. Hmm. Okay. This is an energy that seems to be either one, unsure or confused, or obscuring something purposely. This is very odd. It feels very secretive to me. Now, again, there could be advice here, especially for manifesting. So I'm going to give you the good advice type of energy, and you don't have to take it, of course. But then I'm going to give you the other intuitive things I'm feeling. Now, when it comes to the advice, Spirit could be saying if there's something you want, there's something you want to create, there's something you want to manifest, or a result that you want, you need to be very clear about it. Know what it is and when you want it, and you need to know all the details about it. Because the Ace of Swords is the sword of truth, and when it shows up in reverse, it's like, I don't really know, or I'm unsure. Now, the fact that it's so, again, keep that in mind. Anything you're manifesting, be hyper detailed and very specific about what it is you're wanting to bring in. Even if you're praying or meditating on it, very specific. Now, aside from that, when I see the magician with the Ace of Swords in reverse, either it's somebody purposely holding back something. I don't want to say it's somebody that's a flat out liar, but to me, it feels like it's somebody holding back for one reason or another. Um, or it's just someone that they don't have all the facts about something, or they're very unsure. So hopefully this isn't a situation where you don't have all the facts. We're going to see how the rest of it plays out because we do have conversation. We still do have the tower. But for the advice, be very specific about what you're bringing in. I just hope this isn't somebody purposely obscuring things or purposely hiding things. Just keep your head on a swivel in this time. I feel neutral about it for now, but let's just keep going. We're going to see what's up with the Page of Cups and see if we could get more information. So, why is the Page here? Yeah, and the Ace of Swords could sometimes be a little cold, it could be a little mean. Let's see what's up with the Page of Cups. Total opposite with the Page. Hermit in reverse. This doesn't feel bad to me. Okay, the Hermit is usually withdrawn, pulled back. So it's like, all right, well, what it is that you don't know, you will. Like this is an energy that does come forth, like from darkness to light. So whatever's hidden will be made known. That's one thing I could definitely say. If you're not connected to Virgo, when Hermit shows up in reverse, it's something that just pops in out of nowhere, pops in out of the blue. So this obviously could be an unexpected or a surprising talk or message where it's just like, oh, okay, I didn't even know that was going on. It's like one of those. And again, I'm not trying to make anyone paranoid. Sometimes it's good information that comes forth, where somebody was holding back information purposefully. For whatever reason, you'd have to ask them. But it's like they purposely held back, but then they told you. It's like I'm purposely holding this information, but I will tell them eventually. It's giving me that kind of vibe, especially with this hermit. So don't be surprised whether it's people you haven't talked to in a while or people you weren't expecting to talk to or just subjects. There's just something here about information coming out as well. So I don't think it's a bad thing. If this hermit was in the upright, I would be much more concerned, if I'm being honest with you. With the pages, with the Ace of Swords in reverse, if this hermit was in the upright, stepping back and concealing, I'd be like, okay, there's way too many secrets here, or there's way too much hidden information. But to me, I do feel the information coming out, if that makes sense. So even if it's something that's not even on your radar yet, it will be put on your radar very soon. So the surprising, unexpected combos, talks, messages. Let's see what's up with the tower though. Because now, obviously, with all that being said, we have like an obscured energy, then energy coming out, and then a tower. It could potentially be like a domino effect. But let's see what the tower has. Then we'll do a quick little recap before we get into the shadow. So, very intriguing energy we have for you this week. Good. Okay. All right. So we have the Queen of Pentacles in reverse underneath the tower. Now might be a good time to lay low. If you do receive some information or this conversation does come in, it's Spirit telling you to just hold. Hold for now. Don't make a move on it just yet. Like there's an energy that's like the time will come, and this is getting very specific. I feel like I'm doing a personal reading. The time will come for you to make a move. There will come a time where you can address something, but Spirit might be saying just hold off for now. Because when I see the tower and one of your power cards in reverse underneath it, this could most definitely be a shocking situation or problem eventually. But I feel like you don't have to feed into it. I feel like if you don't feed into it, you get the better result. So there might be something where Spirit's like, just don't feed into it. now. Like, yeah, you could address it at some point, but take a step back, take a breather. That's just how this intuitively feels. So yeah, maybe it is tied to this information. Maybe it's something totally different. It is a shocking situation for sure, but I feel like you don't need to address it right away. Spirit's telling you just take a minute, take a breath, and don't feed into it just yet, especially with her in reverse, because upheaval. There's a lot of this tower energy on the back. And again, I don't think it's worst case scenario. Maybe some of you like, maybe this will be good in the end. And I think you will get the better result if you just hold. I don't know why I'm telling you like that. It's like you will get the better result if you just hold or hold off or hold back. Let's go through and do a quick recap. Then we'll get into the shadows. So, very intriguing mixture of stuff. And remember, this could be totally different things too. But position number one, we have the wonderful magician with the Ace of Swords in reverse. Now, I did give a little bit of advice if you're manifesting, praying, or meditating for something. Spirit wants you to be hyper specific about what you want and what you want to bring in, hyper detailed about it. But aside from that, I was also getting this odd energy of somebody holding back information, very secretive, or possibly obscuring something. There could be a reason for it. But moving to the center, we have the Page of Cups with the Hermit in reverse. And yeah, the information comes out, the energy comes out, where Spirit's like, ta da. Um, so whether it's an unexpected talk, surprising talk, or message, it could be any of those things. But what is hidden does come forth. Moving to the back end, we have the Tower with the Queen of Pentacles in reverse underneath it. So either one, it could be a shocking situation. I said it might be best for a lot of Tauruses to lay low if possible. And if something does pop up, like what we've described, Spirit's just asking you to take a very slow approach. You don't have to feed into it. You don't have to feed into it at all or right away. There's something where it's like, just don't address it immediately. Give it a little bit of time. So please take a screenshot if you want to look into it further. Let's see what's in the shadows. Okay, let's get a good shuffle here. And yeah, I always like to pull one of these at the very end just to see whether it's something within you or something you don't quite see. Shadow cards don't always have to be a challenge, they could be a good thing too. So let's get you one. And if you made it to this point in the reading, please feel free to check out channel memberships. I'll put a link for it in the comments below. It's a beautiful way to support the channel, and I have much love for all my channel members. The wands tearing up, they're the ones that helped me pick the costumes this year. So thank you, my friends. I appreciate you. Let's get this going. What do we have? Thank you. Okay. This fits the theme, but it doesn't concern me. So we have the Seven of Swords showing up in the shadows, which makes total sense when I saw this energy obscuring in the front. The Seven of Swords is a card that belongs in the shadows. A lot of times that's where this energy lives. It represents the unknown, it represents the unexpected. All the themes we've been seeing, the hidden information, the towers, the Seven of Swords. I always say, it does. We don't always have to go 0 to 100. Sometimes it could just be something that's not on our radar yet. So maybe for a bunch of you, the stuff we're seeing might not even be on your radar, which is okay. Now you have a little heads up. But when I see this Seven of Swords in the shadows, it's just Spirit telling you to be cautious. It really is, because usually this is a person making away with swords. They're stealing something. So just like we saw here on the back end with the shocking energy, Spirit's like, just be cautious, maybe lay low, pull your energy back, um, just stay in your bubble. That's how this feels to me, Taurus. I don't want to get all wild and say, oh, someone's stealing from you, someone's lying about this. I'm not going to do that. I'm not that type of reader. But to me, it just feels like you need to be cautious. So we're just going to leave it at that, Taurus. That's what I have for you this week, my friends. Don't click away just yet, though. I'm going to give you the details of the October subscriber surprise. If you would like further insight on your situation and book a personal reading with me, you could check out my digital calendar on my website, mastermetaphysics.com. The October schedule is up there and it's filling up quick. So if you want to have a little chat, go over there and check it out. But for the October subscriber surprise, I'm giving away 3 copies of one of the most stunning decks I've ever experienced, the Star Tarot. So if you'd like to get your name in for that, it's 2 simple things as always, my friends. First, you must be subscribed. And second, let me know down in the comments. Since last month, I asked everybody which zodiac sign they get along best with. This month, out of all the zodiac signs, which one do you clash with a little bit there? Drop it down in the comments. You'll be entered to win. And the winners will be announced in the community tab. As always, my friends, much love, and I'll see you soon.